Yokuso Otakus! I got another fun little Japanese learning game. This time it is one that I'm actually sort of familiar with called Wagotabi. This is a pretty fun little game. The developers did reach out and give me a copy of it. I did buy it, though, actually before I even knew there was a PC version of it for the phone. There's a phone app that you can use, and it's got the whole Wagotabi experience. And I like to use it when I'm on the go. But as of yesterday, they have released the full game on Steam, and it's pretty awesome. I appreciate it. It also works really well on the Steam Deck, just throwing that out there. And I gotta say, the thing is that this is, for all intents and purposes, very much a first impressions. And the reason why is because I have just recently learned hiragana, and I am just kind of starting to get comfortable with it. And this game goes much farther. So this game will cover some grammar, hiragana, and also kanji, and it does it right from the get-go in a pretty cool way. So the initial premise of the game, and like I said, I'm at the very, very beginning, is kind of almost looks like a Pokemon thing where you're going to travel across Japan and you find different leaders that will test your Japanese skills. It starts off, you're in home with your dad preparing for your trip, and he gives you a book that you can use for your studies, and he gives you some quizzes and everything. And in a lot of ways, it feels like an RPG without the actual RPG fighting mechanics. It's stylistic like it, but it's more just like quizzes and stuff. And I don't say that in a bad way at all. It's really cool how it works. And the quizzes are really good as well. They kind of start you off with some really basic and simple things, and then they add to it the more that you play. And the other thing that it does too, which is a lot of fun, and there is a number of these games that do this, and I think it works really well, is that the more Japanese you learn, the more Japanese is replacing the English in the game. So really quickly, you'll learn yes and no, and so all the yes and no options switch over to hiragana right off the top. So you start off at your house, like I said, with your father, and then you leave and you take your trip to Japan, and you go to the airport, and you got to check through. They kind of give you fun little scenarios, like you lose your luggage at the beginning. So you have to talk to different people, and through that, they will teach you different words, different parts of grammar, and different kanji. To reinforce that, after you learn these little lessons from each person, you can also do smart quizzes, which are built into the kind of book menu that you can get into. And the smart quizzes take things that the game identifies you struggling at or concepts that are new, and it gives you quizzes on them that you can kind of go through and refresh. And you can repeat the quizzes as many times as you want, which I find to be super helpful. Now, because of that, that's kind of the main reason why I'm doing a first impressions instead of a full review of the game. And I really want that to be clear that this isn't a full entire review, because I really only have gotten so far. It is been a game that has really pushed me into learning more, and at times I feel kind of uncomfortable, and at times I also feel a little overwhelmed with how much I'm learning. But I found that by playing the game in short bursts and then coming back, and every day I just kind of come in and I do a little bit, I do some review in the books, I talk to some new people, I try some stuff out. It's really become more manageable, and after the first couple hours, I've now finally made it through the airport and out into Japan for the first time, which is really exciting. I haven't gotten any farther than that, but because the game just came out, and it's really, really important for developers to get their biggest amount of sales in that first week, that's where most of the sales come, I wanted to talk about the game and just let you guys know about this. It's $9.99 in Steam. And there is a current sale going on right now as it's first released with 10% off. So it's a pretty darn good deal, really. And like I said, it works really well on the PC, and it also works on the Steam Deck really good as well. It features support for controller, and you can also use your keyboard as well, which is really cool for the mini game that you unlock kind of at the beginning is hiragana, where they throw little hiragana at you, and you have to type in English, in Romaji, what those are to kind of make them go away before they get at you and attack you. There's a leaderboard as well, and Mr. Keen Reflex, last I checked, is number 1, which is really cool. He's also been playing the game as well, but he's N1 and I'm N70. And so, like I said, it's been a little bit of a struggle as I've played through the game so far, but I do like it a lot. It is really neat, and it gives you a variety of things. I do have to say, as someone who's really new and really fresh to it, it is tough, and it pushes you, but I also feel like that level of pushing is absolutely needed for me to progress. And even in just the first 4 hours, there's a number of things that I've been able to learn and understand well that I didn't think I'd be able to get so quickly. So not to make this too long, because I don't have a ton to say, it is a really cool game and you should absolutely check it out on Steam. I am going to continue to play it because I really do think it's a really great way to learn, and it has been really fun. Knowing hiragana beforehand, I think, was a really major factor in me being able to digest it a little easier. However, if you don't know hiragana already, you can use the mini game and kind of just work your way through it nice and slowly, and you can still play the game and understand it then too. I just feel like the challenge level will be a little bit higher because they really jump into stuff really quickly. It's very exciting for me, though, to learn grammar because it's something that is just a really major hurdle, and this whole process of learning Japanese is a marathon and not a sprint, and I have to keep telling myself that just because something's hard does not mean that it is a negative. In fact, it means it's pushing me, and I am seeing the progress as I continue with it. So it's been really, really good. I don't really have a whole lot of negative things to say about the game at this point, honestly. The only thing I think that the minigame, to be critiquey, the minigame for the hiragana, the music is way too repetitive. But I think in the grand scheme of things, the game runs really well. It has a ton of different options and different ways for you to learn and digest, and it pushes you to learn farther than many games, and it's a fun little story and everything too. So I'm looking forward to more of it. We'll get a full review later. I can't tell you exactly when, because with these kind of learning games, they do take me a while to get through, and I want to be able to get through a number of parts of it before I really give my full impressions. I hope you guys check it out. I believe there's a demo as well, and if anything, there's also the phone version you can check out too. So we have a link in the description as well as pinned in the comments. And I would love to hear what your thoughts are on the game, or if you've played it before, on the phone at least. I'm Dre with Yokoso Otaku. If you guys like this content, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, hit the thumbs down, and subscribe to Yokoso Otaku for more anime news, reviews, and gaming. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.